In 2008, the historical city of Malacca, together with Georgetown and Penang, were inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site because of its unique architectural and cultural heritage as a hallmark centuries of the colonial history. Today, Malacca is a major tourist destination, attracting visitors from around the world. In May 2025, an expedition team from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University started an exploration in Malacca, trying to produce digital archive of the heritage and answer questions. How well the old maps match reality? Do the old fortification walls and moats still exist but hidden? If so, where and how deep are they? In front of the tombstones in St. Paul Church, are there burials? A famosa is one of the oldest surviving European architectural remains in Southeast Asia. A famosa means the famous in Portuguese. It was built on 1511, shortly after capture of Malacca by the Portuguese. A famosa originally had several gates, but the Porta de Santiago was the main entrance to the landward side, facing the town and the inland areas. So, it is also called the Land Gate. Because of the intervention by Sir Stamford Raffles in 1810, the Porta de Santiago survived the complete demolition and still stands proudly today.
Today, we are very glad to be here, sat in front of this fortifications wall, which is called Famosa, built in the 16th century by the Portuguese when they first came to Malacca. Why we're here, it is quite a question because, we as a scientist or geospatial scientists, here what can we contribute in this heritage buildings and antiquities? Things would start from the maps. Obviously, is quite a historical record. Around us is actually lots of tourists, but I would say probably not many people would care about the real history of these areas, what they mean, what's alignment of the fortification walls, say how they connect to each other, and especially with the maps. If you think about it, it's like looking backwards to what happened 500 years, 300 years, 200 years ago, and now we are looking for very old, what we call heritage or antiquities. And the perspectives of today's work is, of course, very different from what we have in 200, 300, 500 years ago. But this is exactly what we can contribute. If you look forward, after our work here, after our findings here, maybe 200 years later, 300 years later, the people with other 22nd, 23rd century technologies, they may have another understanding, they may have another portrait here. But today's work we are going to do is going to be their basis. It's going to be their foundations of their future work because technologies evolve. Tonight we are here and to study the history of Malacca, and especially some uncertainties that we have identified. Over the last year, probably. So in front of me is a map, but it is a satellite image on the whole Malacca, where we have the colonial fortification wall in the middle. So this is the map we have nowadays. The Malacca city is initially occupied by the Portuguese in 1511. The first map is produced in 1588 that outlined the fortification wall around the city for protections against other Western powers or other Malaysians' attack. So this is quite a rough map. So you can tell there are a few bastions here that gives us the outline of how it looks like initially. So then we moved to 1660, which is a map basically produced by the Dutch when they invaded Malacca. When we put together the same scale, at that time it's a rod scale. There's quite a lot of discrepancies. Before the British came, actually there's another map in 1792. So the maps are a lot more detailed, but the discrepancy is even more. So the line of the fortifications from, say, Santiago, the Formosa, so basically seems to not align with each other. We try to stretch the scales actually into a scale that looks harmonized. When we overlay it again, so here, then the things start to be interesting because you can see the corners over there. I mean, the bastions seems match a little, but bear in mind that the scales are not right.
But the main feature seems to be there, yeah?
The main features seem to be there. Say the St. Paul here, but the scale is being adjusted. So, but why?
Maybe different datum?
Different datum?
First of all, I think that what is the meanings of the rocks? You know, English rock and the Dutch rock is very big differences. Yes. It said that it's a 16.5 feet, but it's varies from 9 to 28 feet. Okay. So that this scale is questionable because they make use of rocks as a unit, right? So that probably that we should take a real measurement of some of the hallmarks, you know, really that happened in the 60s. Make the scale correctly, and then we can compare it. I think that right now that you are trying to find out the really old wall, right?
So basically, this one, walking along from Santiago, the nowadays Formosa, and then I mean, a lot of tourists over there, and inside and all the way along this part. And don't forget that the Dutch also built the moat, basically outside.
Yeah.
Now what's hidden underground is pretty much unknown here in this part. And they are all very clayey kind of river deposits, materials as well.
Do we know like approximately what is the separations between those two walls?
The moat is 2 to 4 feet wide and 12 feet deep, according to a paper by Irvin from National University Singapore back to 1962. So I mean, so that's actually around 50 years ago. I mean, the details here were well studied. So I mean, and he actually go back to the old days Dutch records, even the diary by the soldiers and also the manuscripts and papers. So he summarized that 2 to 4 feet wide and 12 feet deep. I mean, it's basically the conditions of the moat. This area is what we could have here altogether. So all around here, except the river here, of course, but then this part as well. So that is what we call the old days in-depth defense.
You know, at that time that is a way quite primitive, you know, the tools. So they make use of the plane tabling, they make use of the campus to define the north, so that then we have some of the differences.
So that's why a lot of the fortifications footings are still buried because of the development of the city. A part of it are exposed.
I think this part should be pretty consistent.
So this part is the Victoria, so basically this corner, the northern parts of it. And then the rest parts are, this part are very touristic, and this we have a lot of museums nowadays.
The modern history here is everything is being something like, you know, reclaimed.
So this are all reclaimed lands.
Of course.
From here, all reclaimed already.
Including where we are right now.
That's correct.
So what we can do is we're going to grab the laser scanners and try to scan part of the exposed fortification wall with GNSS RTK, try to position it accurately.
We can get the correct scale.
And we have a guide who actually set up the satellite referencing stations here. So,
especially those junction points, I think that we should be very clear to define the junction point and the turnaround, so that then easier for us to make sure that to confine the scale of the maps.
Yeah, and with the laser scan data, we can have everything awful corrected and then put it back to the map and see which scale is more appropriate.
Yeah, maybe you can redefine what is the meanings of the rocks.
Also, it would be interesting to visit this one.
There's the St. Paul here.
Yeah. Good.
They call it Bukit Malacca now. Yeah.
And for the hidden part, after we can fix the orientation of the wall, then we can say adopt one of this as the references.
Yes.
And then we can use another technology called ground penetrating radar and try to search whether the fortification wall footing are still there or not on one of those alignments here. Especially from Santiago all the way to Emilia here. So this part is quite unknown. And then from Bastion Emilia to Bastion Victoria here, this part. So I mean, for those areas where the buildings is not yet there, so with the road, so we can actually do a GPR survey.
We want to see this so-called geospatial tool to bring the history alive.
Yes, this is they bring history to life.
We are quite lucky that we can still find some of the parts that we can revisit. Otherwise, this will be quite hard to.
Some monument, some features still there, right?
Yeah.
It's because you are UNESCO, so UNESCO heritage site. So you have exposed parts.
This portion that near to the river is being some sort of like exposed recently. This recent maybe like about 15 years recently. The rock near the river here. This part.
Oh, this part.
Yeah, this part.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can process together. You stay in the same hotel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice day, and today we're in Malacca, starting to work on the heritage projects here. We separate ourselves into two teams. So team A will follow me, and we'll do GPR and also GPS for positionings with these equipments called ground penetrating radar and the positioning with GPS. So actually we can try to see what is being buried, because over the centuries, then we believe that the layers stacking up one on another, and that's why the fortification wall footings was being buried. That is the assumptions, this hypothesis. So now we are today here and trying to confirm whether that hypothesis is correct or not, and if it's correct, whether where are they, how wide are they, how deep are they. And then for the other teams, Team B, then Sabe will take the lead. Marco, Mr. Ho, Tarek, and Shiron will go together. We continue to do the scannings starting from Middlesbrough, and then to continue on that way, try to follow the fortifications for footings, and for those exposed parts, we try to scan every one of them, and then we'll go back to the office and try to make the alignments together, and going back to computers, try to recreate the alignment, and see whether we're able to finish most of the fortification wall scanning today and get around the corners and all the way to Bastion Victoria. Okay. This one?
Today our mission, we came back here, we will try to cover the later rebuilt structure, which is a fraud. They rebuild this part so that every tourist can come back to witness the all history. Also, we would like to capture all the remaining parts which we believe to be the foundation existed in the old times. So using our LiDAR technology, we can try to rebuild the whole situation.
The gate behind me, there could be a few names. It could be the Land Gate. It could be the old days Porta Santiago. Okay, or nowadays people commonly know it as the Famosa, the famous. Yes. Different times, different names.
Different time, different term.
Different terms, so different people take over, and they of course want to name it differently.
You also want to leave their legacy, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, and then from Formosa to the Santiago, we'll do laser scan and GPS. And then here, then from Formosa all the way to Emilia, we try to do GPR. And then from Victoria, where laser scan and GPS is available, and the midway, in the way between Victoria to
Find the intersection, we still need to use GPR.
we still need to do GPR. But if there's on the way where we have the exposed part, we can do laser scans. But normally those part of exposed features are part of the wall. So it doesn't mean it's not exactly or in the middle. So people think it's a middle, but it can be at the side, or maybe they just broken parts. So that's why even exposed part is not totally sure. So we are in number 37, the land gates.
The land gate, this one?
Yeah, and you can see from the Santiago to the land gates, so there's alignment.
Alignment.
And suppose in front of the alignment there's a moat, the river that used to protect the fortifications, and then also ditch being dug. So that's why there can be few meters from here to what in front of us. So what's your plan?
So maybe my plan is scan perpendicularly. So maybe we can make few lines in order to see which is the alignment go through.
To respect the historical building, so we start from here.
Okay.
You agree?
Agree.
Yeah?
Very agree.
We do it for Malaysia.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So after the first part of scanning, now we are here at the second location. So here we still want to capture the outer part of the wall. As you can see, there are a lot of different bricks here. So the first line of bricks, it should not be related to the wartime structure, but the second one, as you can see, the below one, the longer one, it looks like a bit damaged with rocks. Those are our real targets.
So we are here, Porte Santiago, yeah, and the gates is not shown, somehow not shown here. So and then extend all the way to this one is called Mada, but it's later on changed name to Emilia.
How many meter?
How many meter? It's based on scale. It is in rock. That is the old, very old scale. So this is 1588. So the first statement here, there was a stone fort at Malacca from 1512 to 1807. So this one is from 1792. Of course, in between there are other maps. Different people draw maps with different cartographic techniques and survey techniques. We don't know whether the survey is done by plane table. Plane table was invented in 15th, 16th century. So it's approximately the same time here. Otherwise, how they can have a scale? The north as well. So that they have a lot of cartographic techniques, mapping techniques being adopted in those maps. And the technology are most likely from Europe, bringing into Southeast Asia. So this is Emilia, so it's at the back, but mostly not shown. So the line we want to know.
So do you think the Emilia one is buried down here?
All break down by the
okay.
bricks. After, say, you can tell here, final statement here by Graham Irvin from National University Singapore. Everyone was startled when they heard the noise. Their surprise all the greater because never in their lives had they heard such a sound or seen how the power of gunpowder can lift bits of rocks as big as houses. So that is when the British took over Malacca. They think it is not useful anymore. So they just destroyed the entire fortification, and these are all the leftover. And that's why now you can't see any wall in front of us. Otherwise, it could be 24 feet tall in some of them, and occasionally they are 32 feet tall fortification wall, but now it's no longer. At last they realized the fort could be destroyed by the English, yes.
and they shook their hands, saying, "Great indeed is the skill and ingenuity of this white man." But what a pity that a building as fine as this should be brought low in an instant of time. So for if they wish to repair it, there is no knowing how many years it would take before it was finished. For the fort was the pride of Malacca, and after its destructions, the place lost its glory. Okay.
I think because they have issues with the Dutch, so they destroy it.
They think it's not useful because they go to Penang. Yeah, Penang is more important than Malacca at that time.
So they destroyed this fort just because to show their power, just to show their arrogance.
I don't know. It's the history depends on you guys. As
Depends
Malaysian,
on
so we are not from Malaysia, so we can't judge.
I see. Depends on what point of view.
What point of view? Yeah, this was a part of your
Okay.
old days, colonial history. But so
Yes.
so now we are between the Bastion Santiago and Bastion Emilia. So in between this, we believe there's a fortification wall here, which is underground. So now with the GPR, we try to see whether we can map it, probably the inner part of the fortification wall. Now here you can tell there's not much utility here. So drainage or water pipes. Looks like it's not many disturbance on the signals. I mean, other than the fortification wall, if they exist. So now we're going to do a zigzag here and see whether we can figure out where the wall footings are.
We usually do circulate around it. As we see now, we go deep down to it to scan the details of the wall, which cannot be seen if we scan outside the excavation site, especially the condition of the wall, how it looks like, and also the orientation of it.
Let's do some settings and then we start our survey, right?
Okay, we already set up the RTK. So now we have 2 centimeter real-time RTK fixed.
Okay.
And then we already fixed the camera and yeah.
So I think we can start from this angle, go to loop outside first.
Yeah.
It seems like easier, and then maybe later
It's
on.
much better to if we have a multiple scan position, and then we can filter out the moving object.
So what about the upper part of the Formosa?
So we try to scan much further away,
Okay.
where we can see on top of the Formosa, or maybe we go to the up of the hill,
Okay.
and then we can scan. We can start here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much better coverage for the GPS.
Yeah. So we have to wait for field.
Yeah, the one scan position is about 25 seconds, not so much.
For the first field scan positions, we will use RTK, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, we will use cloud to cloud to do the registration, or
The other scan position will refer back to the first few scan position as
Okay.
a reference, and then everything will be RTK corrected.
so everything will be in very high accuracy. Huh?
Yes. So now we get like 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter RTK fix. Okay, we finish one scan position, and then we can start moving to other.
Okay, so now we should move to the second setup.
So today we are in St. Paul Church, and we are in this 16th century magnificent old church buildings, and there are lots of burials here, and from the early Portuguese and the early Dutch, maybe missionaries, maybe the explorers to these far-reaching Southeast Asia's town called Malacca. And now we are trying to see with this ground penetrating radar in front of us and the GNSS RTK for positionings, we try to see whether there are possible buried objects underneath. It can be burials, it could be something else, we don't know. So after we collect the very dense data here in just one block, approximately 30 centimeters, and we try to see, build a 3D image of the underground when we back to the cabinet. Local rumors is there are probably be some burials. Burials that actually means alien objects compared to the blocks, compared to the soil. Then when there's alien objects like burials or like utilities or like time capsules, there could be reflections. So if we're able to capture the reflections, especially timing that we can capture, and then with the estimated velocity, we probably can identify where they are. Where they are in terms of spatial coordinates and also how deep they will be.
This is the sign of death. This person died in the Singaporean water. You can see the word Singapore.
Yeah.
This is the captain of this place.
Oh, captain.
Yeah.
Oh.
Miguel de Castro. And this is the oldest one. You can see the year 1568.
Yeah.
That is 15, not 8.
15.
Yeah. So this is Portuguese.
Okay.
You can see all the Latin codings there.
Yeah, Latin.
But as long as you have the accurate dimensions,
Yeah, should be fine.
should be fine.
And you set a baseline over there. Yeah.
Do you do this only this building or
No, we did. We were here for 3 days.
3 days?
So around the fortification wall, because
How big the area?
the area around 1 kilometer long that side, and then around another maybe 0.8 kilometers. From where to where?
We go down to this Kota di Santiago,
Yeah, Santiago. Yeah.
and then from Kota di Santiago, I think it went up to St. John Hill.
St. John Hill. But where the tunnel start from? Is it from the tomb? Over that side.
That's why when I was small, I heard about this.
Oh, you're from Malacca?
Malacca.
You're Malacca!
Yeah.
Whoa! But how big the tunnel will be?
The tunnel actually they keep all the firearms, all this.
But I heard there's another tunnel from here to the Christchurch. You have heard of it? Possible. It's always start from the tomb. Why the tomb here?
This is St. Francis Xavier.
St. Francis.
He was put here, for 9 months.
St. Francis. Xavier St. Francis?
Yeah,
Xavier
yeah,
Francis?
yeah. St. Francis.
Really?
Yes. You know the statue there?
Yeah. That's
he was
why.
put here for
Let's
8
put here.
months.
8 months.
Then when he wanted his body to be buried in Goa, India. So when the ship sent his body down, when they reached Malacca, the monsoon wind changed direction. Instead of blowing from China towards India, we blow from India towards China. Half a year.
Half a year later.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So they keep here for 8 months.
8 months.
When the monsoon wind changed direction, then they took the body and sent it to Goa. Right now, his incorrupted body, after 500 years,
Yes.
is still in the Bom Jesus Church in
Ah.
Macau,
In Macau.
open for public viewing.
Yeah,
I saw it myself.
that is yes. But IHS. So here, there's a cross. Obviously,
This is the Portuguese.
Portuguese. Oh, what does it stand for?
It's a Jesuit.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesuit.
So Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are all Catholic.
Oh, okay. All Catholic. Yeah.
Do you find anything down there?
We go back and then we do the 3D image.
Oh,
and
here
then
cannot,
yeah, now cannot tell, but we have to wait.
Very good. when I was small, up in the St. John Hill.
Yeah.
You know where is St. John Hill?
Yeah.
Only
St.
car
John,
can go
yeah.
up, St.
Yes.
John Hill. You can see at the side there with the cement and all this.
Yeah.
They put the bricks. Over there, there was also there was a walkway that come down to the Santa
Okay.
Kotari Santa.
But now it's all closed, huh?
Not all the buildings. They close it.
They closed it, but it's still there. So
Should be there.
Should
You
be
go
there.
there, you might able to see.
But there is it open or not?
No, but they put the brick already.
So you see this, but you can't see much here. But later on we'll post-process. We'll process the data.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So but inside the chamber there's also block wall, so that enclose the entire chamber.
Because this is a wishing well.
Yes. People put
People
money.
And last time was not caged,
Yes.
People went inside and took the money.
Ah.
And there was once the person disappeared.
Oh, and get the money.
So for your safety,
So put a cage.
This one was put only about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 or 15 years ago.
I see.
Otherwise it's just the control.
Now we are coming back and put it together and put it in a geographic information systems framework and try to tie up those old maps and the data we've collected. Let's take a look at the above ground structures. I mean, they're the two structures that are left. I mean, after a few hundred years. The first one is the Formosa. The second one is the St. Paul's Church. So this one is Formosa. So what I call the famous, basically, it means, or the land gate. I mean, some would say have different names. Yeah, so take a look. I mean, this is a 3D model, just get into, very beautiful. So I mean, the point cloud models and the colorizations, and then as well, so just getting back and forth for the 3D model. Apart from 3D view, I mean, let's take a look at the 2D. If you overlaid the O4 image of the Formosa according to the latest scan results, well, it's
Perfectly matched.
I mean, perfect, right? So
Perfectly matched.
too good to be true.
Yes, yeah, too good. No comparatively.
Somehow the other maps it doesn't appear, but like here, you really matches.
Nearly.
Model really like fit into the map.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah. Yes, perhaps it's above ground, so that's why I mean it's easier to be say survey. I mean, but if it's underground, then there are rubbles and maybe. So how about the corner? It's actually a watchtower. So, but this is the only place which the matching is not as perfect as the boundary of the wall, right?
Yeah.
But I think fair enough. I mean, I think everyone is happy with this.
Yes, of course. As I mentioned, that as the scale concerned, is say it's a 1 to just guess is about 3006. So it's pretty good, Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the hilltop, to the church, the St. Paul's Church here. The location interests us most is the inner part, so basically close to the outer. So this is a bit of fly-through from the front entrance to the main hall, or maybe where the congregations worship. So there's a steel cage there. And I think this morning we've heard from the tourist guide, it was not there when he was a kid. I mean, because people throw money and then they build a cage to encircle the area, to protect area. So I mean, let's have a look at how our result would match the maps in 1660. Why don't we start with Victoria? So this is a scanning results. So wow, I mean, very good, awful corrected view. So the 3D edit clearly shows the square shapes of the entire structures, which is beautiful, I would say. The wall footings actually is just underneath here. Okay. Does it match 6060 maps? Let's have a look. Not quite, right? Not really matching. So our scannings is all reference to the local coordinates. and supposed to be the true measurements. Let's take a look at the Middlesbrough. If you look at the map, it's again slightly, quite shifted. Bastian's Middlesbrough was actually rebuilt after it was destroyed by the British based on the existing foundation. Let's see the exposed part of the fortifications, one of the alignments along Kedding South. But the alignment seems to be a little bit shifted to the east. So sounds like, the free scan result, doesn't really match what we have the map in 1660. Okay, we again go southwest. So Middlesbrough. So the shape alignment again, a slight offset, but it's still okay. It's not too bad. So okay, when we head south again, this is the trench just outside HSBC building. Okay, it looks all right. Okay, go further. Then this one is again a slight offset. Well, but this one is a very close match.
Yes.
And this one is one of the trench, but we don't know the inner wall, outer wall. Okay, go further, head east. So this is the interesting area. Wow. Some circular structures. Circular structures. So this is what it supposed looks like, back to 1792. So what happens nowadays? Wow. It's like the oval correct, big circle. It's like, but the function, we leave it to the historian to do interpretations. But it is definitely one of the quite identical questions. Yes. Here, extended from the back point, so another continuous red reflections. So basically extended from the back points over there. So it seems there's a continuous structures from Santiago to Amelia. Okay, after the studying the wall, then we have some interesting GPR findings at that area. So for this church, alongside this headstone, the tombstone for people used to be buried there, but we don't know whether the body is still there. But 4 of them from Portuguese, and the rest are basically the Dutch. Yes.
So what is our conclusions? Maps made a few hundred years ago are pretty close to reality. And part of the old fortification walls and moats seems buried and still exists today. And in St. Paul Church, few reflections close to the tombstone indicate the burials may still be there.
Well, I think this is a wonderful experience for our PolyU teams to come here actually do the expeditions. Thankful to PolyU's fundings and making all this happen, because without the fundings from research institutes of land and space, we are not able to come here to carry out these meaningful works. For many years, we have been doing heritage, archaeologicals or antiquities mappings for Hong Kong, especially Second World War. This time is really the first time we come out of Hong Kong to Malaysia to work with our fellow Malaysians on the history of Malacca. So I think it is a special experience, and I'm very grateful to my team in my back, actually working very hardly in the last few days and collecting information, processing data, and producing images, even reading historical text. So I think it is an amazing experience for us. And we look forward to bringing these technologies and the spirit and our passions even to other places that are waiting for these kind of explorations.